You're probably looking for leads, as am I. That's why I have read the book called $100 Million Leads by Alex Hormozi. In this video I will present to you the key principles that I found in the book so that you might understand better what the book is about and to decide whether you want to read it. In the book I have defined 6 core principles and I'll go them through one by one. So the principles are the core equation, identify engaged leads, use the core 4 lead generators, scale through consistency and iteration, outsource lead generation to gain leverage, stack and sequence with the $100 million roadmap. So the core equation is the following. Leads bring you money. Now that's not a surprise, but this is what is meant by leads, or actually so-called engaged leads. I will define engaged leads in a bit. So basically what you need is that you need more engaged leads at a lower cost than what they bring in. In the book, the level of profitability would be that your lifetime gross product would be at least 3 times the size of your customer acquisition cost. So if it would take you, so the profit that you're making from your products should be at least 3 times the size of your customer acquisition cost. And this book helps you to reach this level of profitability. Next, identify engaged leads. So engaged leads are simply people who want to have your product and want to pay for it. So they at least have the problem, the desire, and the money for your product. So there is a clear fit. So you want to find these types of people. As an addition, I wanted to add here is that basically you want to know your engaged leads value equation. Briefly in this book, Hormozi presented the value equation, which is basically your dream outcome times perceived likelihood of success divided by time delay times effort and sacrifice. In his previous book, $100 million offers, he went more deeply into this equation, but basically what you would want to do is to understand each of these aspects in your engaged leads perspective, and in an optimal situation you would decrease the time and delay times effort and sacrifice to as close to 0 as possible. So then you will make a very powerful offer. And also you do want to understand the demographics and psychographics of your engaged leads. So that could be, for example, the age, location, gender, income, goals, fears, and beliefs. So the better you know your customer profile or avatar, as Alex Hormozi puts it, the better. Next, use the core 4 lead generators. So basically you have people who you know and you don't know, and then you also have to decide, do you want to speak to one-on-one or from one to many? So this creates this matrix where you can decide which type of methods you want to do. The rule of thumb is that you want to begin warm and then move to cold, so that you get to know your customers and you can actually understand them better before then starting to speak to a very large crowd, especially if it's a cold one. Next, scale with more, better, or new. So one thing that I noticed here that I have forgotten to include is the so-called lead magnets. So lead magnets are ways for you to attract your engaged leads to come to your website or your whichever way you are going to offer your product or service. So in order for you to grow from 0 to 100 million, let's say, you need repeatable, consistent, and expanding lead generation. So when you have your lead generations in place, there are 3 ways that you can do to improve these lead generators. So you can do more of what's working, you can do it better, so improve the quality, the targeting, or the messaging, or new. You can add a new channel, format, or offer. So basically, this is the biggest leverage that you actually have. So these lead generators are really what bring you the disproportionate amount of new leads into your channels. So the better you're able to leverage these ones, the more revenue you're going to generate. So this is really what this entire leverage of the book boils down to. You don't want to be, so in this principle, outsource lead generation, you don't want to be tied to your lead generation. So if you really want to grow and scale into big proportions, then you have to be able to outsource this lead generation to someone or something else. So to free your time and scale, replace yourself in the lead getting. So there are 4 ways to do this. You can get employee, you can hire employees. So training someone to do what you're doing and allowing them even to become better than what you're currently even doing. Agencies. Hormozi uses agencies to actually become better at, so to learn what the agencies are doing and then training his staff to do it even better. So he's only using agencies to learn actually from them. Referrals. So turning customers into lead magnets themselves. So using the current customers to find new customers. And affiliates. So this is for businesses. So promoting your own product or service via other businesses to then attract even more customers. And finally, putting this all together, so roughly speaking, you begin by warm outreach. So you reach out to people who you know just by calling, emailing, or whichever way you deem fit. Then you do consistent input, repeatable lead generation habits. For example, Hormozi suggests doing, for example, 100 calls every day. So that would be repeatable and consistent lead generation. Then hiring people to do what you're doing and allowing them even to become better at doing that lead generation thing, what you're doing. Getting referrals, finding other businesses to promote your product or service, expanding to other methods or platforms, and then finally hiring an administrative staff to take care of your business. So then you have an asset that you don't even need to manage other than in some annual meetings, maybe in an optimal situation. And that's it. These are basically the key principles. If you want to read the book, there's a lot more material. If you want to have a look at it, I certainly learned a lot. But basically, these are the 6 key principles of the book that I learned, and I think that this is all you need to know about what principles there are in the book. If you enjoyed this video, please share it to someone else who might benefit from it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.